on this episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places.
Oh, we've got an incline shaft here. Oh, look at this, guys. Oh, cool.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, to get things started this weekend, I found this really interesting trestle with a small ore chute. It carried along the side of this hill above a small cliff. Now you can see the trestle was made out of wood and it has that center plank. That center plank there was used for the miners to walk on while they're pushing the ore cart off to the end towards the chute. Now as we head out inside here, this area is filled with a lot of granite rock, and what this mine does is it goes in and intersects with some really cool quartz veins. Okay, let's head on inside.
Okay, so you can see, look at the stratification going into this mine, running from lower left to high right. See that? But that's not necessarily the vein. They're just kind of tunneling through country rock at this point, and they're going to be to intersect with a vein or an ore body farther up in here. Oh, here we go. Now here's a really nice limonite pocket. Look at that. That's a beautiful looking pocket of limonite, but no gold values in it, otherwise they would have mined that out. Let's keep on going. Right through this section, it's only about 4.5 feet tall, so I'm crouched over pretty good here. Okay, we're at our first drift. We've got rail going off to the left. We'll come back and revisit that, but for now, let's continue on the main haulage at it. All right. At our first ore chute. Let's take a better look at that. At one time, a ladder did go up there and it had a small manway, but it's blocked off now. Okay, let's see what's up in here. That's as far as that goes. Right there, okay. All right, now we're starting to see the vein. Right through here. Here's what they're removing from that point to there. That section. Okay, we've got a bit of a crumbly rock here to work our way through. Yeah, that's a nice look of the vein structure through there. See that? Down on the floor here. That spool used to have the blasting fuse wrapped around it. Okay, let's continue on. It's just kind of wiggling like a snake through here. That will be the end of this drift. It looks that way. Yep. That's the end of this one. Okay, I'll meet you back by the other drift. See you over there. Okay, we just finished up going down that drift there. Now we're going to turn to our left and see where this goes. Now this is a much bigger area. I'm liking this. I can stand up. It's about 7 feet tall through here. And it's wiggling through some really beautiful layers and veining all through this section. Look at all the quartz. Wow, there's a chute. Now, whenever you see a chute, of course, that's going to give you an indication that there's going to be workings higher up. So maybe we can find a way to get into those. Little drift off to the left, doesn't go very far, and another chute. Okay. We've seen lots of ore chutes at these locations, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them unless I see some cool writing on the wood. Up in here we've got an old 55-gallon drum, and the geologists have been in here. Let me show this to you. See how they've been marking in spray paint these different sections where they're taking samples, and they're marking the strike zones. Okay, let's continue on. Oh, do we have we've got an incline shaft here. Actually, since it's inside the mine, it's called a decline shaft. Very nice. Look at that, guys. Excellent. Okay, well, we may have to we're gonna come back and revisit that. Let's look up here. Oh yeah, you can see where it goes outside. See, it's gonna have an open stope up there, and that's what they were working down into those chutes. 55-gallon drum. Okay, like I said, we'll come back to that decline. Let's finish going this direction. More barrels. See, there's not much water in this situation, so in order to use water in your drills, you got to bring it up here in a barrel or some other means. Now, last time when we got near barrels, they were setting off the O2 monitor because they were rusting. But in this mine, we've got lots of airflow, so we're not going to be encountering that problem. Another chute, and there you can see the markings, load marks from the carbide lamp. And it goes up there into a stope. Okay, well, before we head up in there, let's look up here. Yeah, see, probably the old mine owners marked this off right here. See, they were testing all those different areas, determining their value. Okay. We need to go up into this stope and check it out. Maybe. Now, let's see. How do you climb a ladder and hold the camera at the same time? Okay, there we go. Okay, now we gotta work our way over this little board. All right, let me show you where we're going here. That's looking into the ore chute. And now we're going to work our way up into this stope. Oh, that's pretty slippery. All right, guys, what I'm going to have to do here is I'll meet you right up there where we can see daylight. Try to get to that spot. See you up there. Okay, made it up to a place where I could get a foothold here. Now, let's see what's over here. Nothing off into that section. It does keep going off there to the outside and heads this direction towards a really big, what looks like a, let's see, I gotta get around this board here. There we go. It's like a big pack rat nest. Yeah, that's as far as it goes there. Okay, that's going to be it for this little stope section. Let's head back over to that decline, see what that's all about. Okay, before we head down into that decline, I got Mr. Magnifico here. We're going to explain to you how the skip car works and these catches up here.
So it goes to a metal wear band here and kicks out. The skip would come up here and bonk into this and past it and up and beyond it, and then they could dump out the bottom here is where they dumped. They had to dump right here into the ore carts.
Yeah.
And so the skip had a pivot point on it, and they'd roll it and pivot it. And then once they got it emptied and they hauled it back up, then it would be up here. As it came down, this would close down here. It would go bonk into here and then back on your metal guides and down would she go.
Gotcha. Okay.
Pretty interesting though with the spring loading that they get here and these old lags and washers and things.
Interesting.
Ingenious. This started to bend. It had been hit so many times, and it had a hole in it, which made it weaker there. But it had been smacked so many times that it started bending.
I see that. Yeah, it does have a bend in it, doesn't it?
This side. The other side's still straight.
All right. Well, that's how a skip car works. Okay, let's head down into this decline. Okay. Now, it's pretty steep, so be real careful. I gotta be careful here how I do this because I am holding onto a camera. Let's see. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a nice ladder. And oh, yeah, it'd help if turn the flashlight on, huh, guys? There we go.
Just for reference, you're going almost straight down, you know that.
Yeah, it's close to vertical. I'd say what, 85?
90?
90? Not quite 90. Now this, I like this ladder, but this next one here looks a little bit sketchy. Looks like these ladders were rebuilt probably sometime in the 60s. Oh, that one's ready to break. I think I stepped on that one. There we go. Okay. What do we have here? Looks like, is it going to drift off? It might just drift. Okay, I got to work my way. Kind of just sitting on this rail, trying not to get a nail in my butt. Okay, yeah, there's a small drift going off this direction. Let's explore that first. Oh yeah, nice. Keeps going. Excellent. But the problem is, oh, look down there. So we have an ore pass, and that's either rail or ladder down in there. I think it's a ladder. Let's see here. It might go up there and around the corner. I'm going to try to work my way around this without kicking a bunch of dust down that pass. There we go. Because then we'll just end up breathing it later. Very nice. Yeah, they were drifting off into that vein, but they stopped right here. You can clearly see all the holes. See that? Okay, I'm gonna work my way back to the decline. I'll see you over there. Okay, so we worked our way back to the decline. You can see Mr. M up there top side. He's gonna hang out there while we work our way down into this bugger. And as I was coming back, let me point something out to you. Right over here, see where they marked the vein? You can clearly see it from that point to that point, okay? That's the vein structure that they're mining in this decline. And it keeps on going that direction. All right. Let's continue on down. Nice ladder. Well, so far so good anyways. Now, usually you shouldn't go down a ladder front ways, but that's what I'm doing right now so I can get the shot. Okay, there we go. But now we're all out of ladder, so we got to do a little bit of rock climbing through this section. Oh, oh, that was sketchy. Yep, I'm not going to be able to get around this until with holding the camera, so I'll meet you folks down there by that beer bottle. See you down there. Okay, that's where we just came from. You can see that section there. I didn't have any ladders to climb on, but indeed we did make it to the bottom of this short decline. We have there's a bunch of cardboard dynamite boxes, or remnants of. And it looks like, yeah, these here, that's all bags of ANFO. Yep, nitrate prill. Okay, so if we keep going this way, we should work over to where we saw either that ladder or the rail. There's a bunch of tamping sticks down there on the ground. They're tamping in the dynamite. Oh, look at here. Oh, very cool. We got a little winds, and it goes up that way. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to walk on this old sketchy ladder here and show you what we're doing. Let's hope it don't break. or I'm going to be falling down in that winds. Yeah, oh great. There we go. Well, that's really interesting. All right, well, before we look down there, let's look up here. Big stoped out area. Makes you wonder if it goes past that crown up there. Oh, it's pretty darn steep. Let's see if I can get up there. Oh, look at there, see? I'm glad I rounded the corner. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Yeah, this is an area where they were working. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold the camera a little different here. As I scramble up to this point. There we go. Nice. See how they were working this stope? Look at the beautiful vein structures through here. Okay, let's see if we can go up any higher. No, that's as far as it goes right there. All right, let's head back down to that winds. Oh. Whoa. Yeah, so what they were doing here was, think of this as kind of an ore pass. That's where we just were. It's coming down into this area, then they were bringing it up through this little hole. So it really doesn't make sense to go down there, because it's just going to be the bottom of that ore pass. But my curiosity has got me wondering, just like yours is, let's check it out. Oh, it's dusty. Let's see what's down here. You never know. It's probably been 40 years since anybody's been here. Okay. Well, there is a bunch of, look at how the wind is blowing the dust out of this mine. See that? What? Let's see here. Wow. What do we have here? Oh, look at this, guys. Oh, cool. Wow. Super cool. I was wrong. That was not an ore pass. Well, it was, but not for that stope that we were just in. Look at how large this area opened up into. What do we have here? Oh, there's the outside. Right there. Turns out it was just a big haulage at it. This thing is probably 10 feet across 15 feet tall. Yeah, I know, I'm huffing and puffing pretty good because we're at about 7,000 feet in elevation here, and I'm still getting adjusted. All right, well, we're gonna work our way back outside, and I'm gonna walk back up the mountain and meet up with Mr. M at the top of the decline. I'll see you over there. All right, well, that was fun. See, you just don't know until you go down into some of those places. I thought that was just gonna be an ore pass, and they were bringing the ore out of that little tiny winze with that ladder, but it turns out, no, it went completely down to a more modern ore pass that was probably dug out sometime in the 80s. And all this material that is around me right here, they're dropping it to the bottom and they're working it over to that real big ore pass and bringing it out there. So what I had to do is, once I worked out the bottom of the mountain, I had to run back around, back up the hill, and in through the main haulage at it to catch up with Mr. M here. So he wasn't waiting on me, but while he was waiting on me, he found something really cool. Take a look at this. Well, it's an old newspaper. No sense in zooming real close on it. You'll just have to trust me. But it says it's the Bridgeport News, and it's March of 1943. And the reason you know it's up in the 40s is it says right here. Here, let me see if I can get a better view for you guys. No, oops, wrong button. Sorry. There we go. It says soldiers wounded at the Battle of Iwo Jima. Right there. Kind of cool. Yeah, sometimes you get lucky and find something neat like that in these mines. Okay, well, we're gonna get on out of here and see what else we can find in this area. Let's go. Let's see what's in this one. Wow, this adit is just huge. It's probably 6 feet across on the floor, 8 feet tall. So right now we're working our way through a bunch of granite country rock, and I'm pretty sure what the reason that they put this adit at this location is they're going to be intersecting with those vein-like ore bodies further on up the hill. Nice big mine. This is fantastic. Okay guys, we've got a big critter up in this mine, and I think it could be, I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it's very large. So So we're gonna have to back out. Yep, that could be a mountain lion. Could be. Okay, we're back out of the mine. Gonna have to fix my camera, so I kind of fell over getting out of there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I got things all straightened back out again after tripping and smashing my thumb and my elbow. I'm bleeding all over the place. Now I don't know if I caught it on camera, but we just got chased out of this mine by what I think is a mountain lion. It was very large, whatever it was, but let's peek back in here. Maybe we can see some eyes. If we see some glowing eyes, then that would give me an idea of what kind of a critter we're dealing with. But whatever it was very large. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now. So you definitely don't want to corner a mountain lion. That wouldn't be good. And as much noise as he made up in there, stomping around over that that rock, it's a pretty large animal. I'm gonna look down here on the ground real quick and see if I can see any prints. See, I'm not seeing any prints, but the ground is pretty darn hard through this area. So yeah, it's hard telling just what that is. Okay, but we're gonna have to stay out of this one for now. We'll come back and revisit it another time. I certainly don't, like I said, I certainly don't want to come face to face with a mountain lion. That wouldn't be good. So, okay, let's work back out of this mine. See you outside. Okay, guys, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about what I just experienced down there. I don't know if you can see all the blood all over me. I got blood all over my pants, blood on my arm, cut my finger and my thumb up pretty darn good. I got blood all over my hand.
Sorry, Gly.
It is pretty darn funny because, you know, now I've been in and out of these mines now for a year. And the law of averages states that if you crawl into enough holes, eventually you're going to run into a critter. And indeed, that's what we have down here, but I don't know what it is, but it's large. So I could hear the thing run. I could hear it take off and go further up into the adit. And the stomping noises that it was making was so large and prevalent. I mean, it wasn't like a small animal, like a mine cat. I mean, this thing was thumping. It was kicking rock. You could hear it just go thump, 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 down into the adit. And the second that I heard that sound, my brain said one of two things are happening. Either I chased a critter or there was a collapse. And that's why immediately when I heard that sound, because I know what a collapse sounds like, I twisted around, my feet fell out from underneath me, I hit the dirt and skinned myself up pretty good. But I would sure like to know what the hell that critter is. It's a big animal.
You said when you came out and you were all dinged, you said it sounded like it was on 2 feet.
Well, see, that's the very strange thing about it, because an animal that's running through a situation like that with 4 feet makes kind of a clumpity sound, kind of like a horse. The noise that thing made sounded like it was 2-footed, like as if I was to go into a full bore run down and at it, you know, running into it, crashing through the rock. That's the way it sounded. But no, I I don't believe in Sasquatch and all of that foolishness. But I do think that what we've got down in here is either a mountain lion, or it could be a full-grown wild pig.
Could be a hermit.
You know. Well, I don't believe in that goofy stuff. You got an animal down in there, but nevertheless, that was pretty darn exciting. Okay, well, we're not done with that mine. I think what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna wait. We'll revisit it a few days from now when we come back to this area to finish the rest of these mines. But we're gonna let that one sit for a while, and maybe that critter will get out of there, and then we'll go back in. It wouldn't be any fun coming face to face with a mountain lion. You think this is blood? There'd be a lot more blood if that happened. Okay, let's get on out of here, and see you next weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.